I apologize profusely.
Okay, we're about to go live. Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome to the first meeting of the Pharmaceutical Subcommittee of the Health Committee. I'm Delegate Steve Johnson, and I serve as chair of the subcommittee. I want to thank you all for being here today to participate in the discussion and voting on bills that we're going to be talking about today. If you have a question or want to make comment, if you would raise your virtual hand so we can see that you would like to ask a question or give some input. And if you would stay on mute unless you are answering a question or asking a question or commenting on a bill. And we're going to start with House Bill 1470 today. Lisa, could you tell us a little bit about that bill?
Sure. This bill requires the Maryland Department of Health, beginning in 2026, to conduct the in-state cost of dispensing survey at least once every 3 years. And then within 6 months of completing the survey, MDH is required to adopt regulations establishing a fee-for-service professional dispensing fee based on the results of the survey. And there are no proposed amendments.
Move the bill.
Madam Vice Chair, did you want to talk about your bill at all?
No, it's really
Okay.
a workforce issue. It's where we need to stay current in terms of the amount that we pay for our pharmaceutical services. So, and while the federal government does require surveys, they don't say how often it is. I think every 3 years is very reasonable. So I would second the bill.
Okay, we have a first and we have a second. Any further discussion on the bill?
Are we on the bill or the amendments?
And no amendments.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's no amendments?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so on the bill, I was just addressing the opposition testimony from the Department of Health. They're saying that this is going to be really expensive, and they're saying even a $1 increase in the survey would cost more than like $5 million. So do we have any estimates on that?
So may I respond, Mr. Chair?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what will happen, it doesn't say that there's any rules around how they set the amount, except to look at the survey. And the last survey was done in 2018. And in 2021, they raised it by 30 cents. So, I mean, I understand their concern, but it should be clear that the only cost to this to the 27 budget is the cost of the survey. So whoever they used to do that's the $40,000. And as the result of the survey, they can come back to the legislature next year and say, based on the survey or based on this budget, there's nothing that says there's a certain amount that they need to raise it. Or actually, it says they should raise it, but if the budget is not there, they'll come back to the legislature and say the budget's not there, or put it in the governor's budget. So we're just trying to keep track of the amount that's being spent in this way. Does that make sense, Delegate?
I think so, because what you're trying to do is keep track of how much money it would cost if we made a change to like the dispensing fee, correct?
Right.
So in their letter, if we changed it $1, that could cost 5.3 million.
That's
So the question is, do we pay for the survey, or do we, wing it on the cost? Is that assessed pretty accurate?
I guess my inclination is to pay for the survey, and then, yeah, right, we see what happens as the result of the survey before it moves forward. And again, I don't think the language is is really compulsory. It says that they'll set regulations about
Okay.
how to address it. So they have the next power with the next authority.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Mhm. I see Delegate Shalega's hand, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Delegate Shalega?
Thank you. So, Delegate Cullison, are they saying the survey they think is going to cost them 40,000?
That's what they've said in the fiscal note, yes.
I can't, why would it cost that much? Yeah, aren't they
Um,
just asking a question?
And using data that they gather, would be my guess. I can't answer that question, Delegate. That would come better from the Health Department.
Well, if maybe Aaliyah could help us. I mean, they're surveying, like asking, what is the cost of dispensing? Wouldn't the pharmacist be able to give us a better idea? I mean, is this more
Yeah.
complicated?
It's a little
This
bit,
must be more complicated than I think if they're saying it's going to cost $40,000.
the state contracts with a survey firm. Typically they use Myers and Stauffer, and Myers and Stauffer does this survey for many other states. I don't have the exact number right now, but they do this exact cost of dispensing survey for multiple states. And I believe this is their contracted fee. And so they do a survey. It asks very specific questions about operations, staffing, all different types of things that the pharmacies then submit the information, they take it in, do the analysis, and present the report back to the Department of Health.
Okay, and all right, thank you. I'm gonna ruminate on that.
We have any other discussion? We have a first and a second on the bill. All in favor of the bill?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey,
Any opposed?
come on in.
Okay, with the bill
Mr.
passes.
Chair, my bill was,
Nope.
I was on
Was
mute.
that?
Mr. Chair, I was on mute, but I'm in favor of the bill.
Okay, Delegate Shalega, your hand was still up. Is that a
Yeah,
residual?
I'm not gonna go opposed right now, but I may oppose it in committee. I just wanted to let you know I'm still doing my homework on that.
Okay, Delegate Morgan?
Yeah, I'm in the same situation. We're just a little concerned about the fiscal note, but I'll probably end up supporting the bill. So thank you.
So does that make you a current, is that a no or an in favor?
Could we abstain?
I think you have to vote, but you can vote no and change it later.
Yep. Okay, put me in that category.
Okay.
Okay, and Delegate Shalega, you want to be the
Yeah,
same?
do the
moment?
same, but put me in no, that way it'll flag me to make sure I done my homework by committee votes.
Okay, so we
Thank
have
you.
Delegate Shalega and Morgan is a no, the rest are in favor.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
that
Thank you,
bill
Mr.
passes.
Chairman. I want to re-echo my great appreciation for the bill sponsor.
All right, thank you.
Or
right.
reimagine it, Delegate.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next bill, House Bill 1377. Lisa, can you tell us about that bill?
This bill this bill establishes a redirecting safe prescription drugs pilot program to expand the existing state prescription drug repository program by including medications collected during the Federal Drug Enforcement Administration's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Dates. To administer the pilot program, the Secretary of Health must collaborate with DEA and 4 drop-off sites in the state registered to participate in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. Each repository must coordinate with DEA to separate eligible, non-controlled, unopened prescription medications collected by a drop-off site on the Prescription Take-Back Day and redirect them to a repository program. They have to ensure that the collected prescription medications are packaged in a manner consistent with the requirements of the state prescription drug repository program, ensure the controlled substances are provided to DEA, and transfer the eligible prescriptions to the repository. There are amendments that were circulated that correct terminology throughout the bill and change the termination date.
Okay. Do we have anybody here to speak on the bill?
I'm here from Delegate Kaiser's office. As Lisa mentioned, the amendments are purely technical, and then we also have our lead advocate, Matthew Hollister, here to answer any further questions related to the bill. I think he has some information on 2 nonprofit organizations that have the operational capacity to handle a pilot program in Maryland, and then other answers about the logistics and the liability as well.
Okay. So is there anyone else who wants to speak on the bill?
Mr. Chairman, I put my hand up. I was just going to talk about the fiscal note.
Go ahead,
Um,
Dr. Morgan.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just found it interesting that this bill requires the Secretary of Health to work with the Federal Drug Enforcement Agency. Found that interesting because, well, we passed legislation earlier this session that disallowed agreements with the feds, but I'll let that be.
Is there any comment on that concern?
Not from our office. I believe this is just completely different type of partnership.
Delegate Kaufman, you have your hand up?
Yes, I just want to see if Mr. Hollister briefly has anything to add.
Thank you. Regarding that question, the reason why I recommended putting that in there was because National Drug Take Back Day and the medicines that they collect are officially under the purview of the DEA. And they are the ones who ultimately have ownership of the medicine. So if they were to be involved at all, and I'm not sure if it's necessary per what was just said a moment ago, but any medicine that we collect that would qualify for the repository system would at least need to be signed off, or we would need to let the DEA know about it. That was my understanding. But if there's other laws in place that already cover that, all the better.
Delegate Collison, you have anything to add? I see your hand up.
Yeah, not to add, but I was going to ask Mr. Hollister. I think I heard Magna say that you already have a couple of nonprofits that are willing to participate in the program. Is that, or was I misinterpreting that?
Yeah, the nonprofit in question here would be Serum. They would serve as the pilot statewide donation intake system, providing the front-end infrastructure needed to safely collect qualifying medications from National Drug Take Back Day sites and help ensure that they get to the pilot's dispensing pharmacy. The brick and mortar for that would be Arnold's Professional Pharmacy in Arnold, Maryland, or Good Pill. And both Serum and Good Pill currently have a partnership with the state of Maryland and Governor Moore.
Okay. Thank you. That's helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hollister. That is helpful. Any other discussion on the bill? Would anyone like to move the bill? Make a motion to move the bill.
I'll move the bill.
Do we
Second.
need, there are amendments, aren't there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep,
All
yep.
right, I'll move
I'm
the
sorry.
amendments.
Thank you. Thank you.
Second.
All in favor of the amendments, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none opposed, the amendment's moved unanimously. Anybody like to move the amended bill?
Move the bill as amended.
Second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the bill passes unanimously. And thank you, guys. That's all we have for today. So I know we're running a little late, so I'm gonna let you guys get out of here. Thanks a lot for being flexible.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.